Be advised, we're about to get freaky.
I'm going to show you two different shapes. One is more rounded, resembling the flowers from SpongeBob SquarePants. The other, more spiky. Your mind wanders to something dangerous, doesn't it? Which one is named Kiki? And which one is named Booba?
Normal words, but a horse guy.
Snake Andrews is a Twitter account that posts various game prototypes created by a man of the same name. One of these prototypes would shine above the rest, to the point that most if not all the people currently following the account only do so because of this project. On April 1st of this year, Snake Andrews would make a post simply titled, "New Prototype." The content was self-explanatory. After a short timer, 4 differently colored horses, they don't look much like horses, but just trust me, that is what they are set off into a small maze. If one reaches the end and touches the prize, that being a bundle of carrots, they win. Very simple concept with nothing of note. They don't do much besides bounce off of walls, and yet there was something here, at least to those interested. People responded to this post with genuine intrigue, engaging with it as if these unrecognizable blobs were real, and cheering on their favorite. One day and 1,000 likes later, another video was posted, titled Test Race 2. One more day, another upload. And another. And another. And another. Thus, Horse Race Test was born. With every future upload, the prototype would start to evolve. New designs for the equine, new environments, new ambiance, and eventually, the first instance of a named horse. 5 days after the original prototype, the world would meet someone they would grow to know all too well. To some, a god, a champion capable of something far greater. To others, a demon, a false prophet designed to poison the well to rig the games for himself. They would know the orange horse, one whose coat was not his own, but rather earned from the flames snuffed out through his conquest for carrots and sin. Jovial merriment.
History is written by the victors.
But in order to understand how such a simple concept can intrigue people, we first have to go back to the beginning. One where something very similar to this, yet not identical, was born. Take a few marbles, roll them down a track. This is a marble race. Do you want to see advanced marble racing? Gel's Marble Runs is a channel composed entirely of marble races, and yet the stories these videos tell are genuinely beautiful. Marbles are not sentient beings. They are, well, marbles, inanimate objects capable of rolling and not much else. Yet Gel describes how Wisp of Darkness tried to take second place and is masterfully stopped by Marbly McMarbleface. These are marbles that move through gravity and gravity alone. Nothing they do is predetermined, yet the videos make these contestants feel alive. This is their world. We're only observing the event from the outside. I watch these videos and I don't feel like I'm watching marbles rolling down a hill. I feel like I'm watching my favorite sports team. It feels like I'm betting on horses. And sometimes those horses turn out to be marbles. And sometimes those marbles turn out to be plastic ducks. Placid Plastic Duck Simulator is a type of game I'd like to refer to as Hassan share content, as in there's no content. Every few minutes, a randomized duck falls into a small pool, where they aimlessly float for all eternity. Sometimes they can do something, other times they have funny eyes, but most of them just float. The vibes on display are immaculate. It's calm, and the music that occasionally plays is wonderful. I'm not sure if I can play it for you, but if I can without getting copyright claimed, you'll be hearing it right now. Duck Simulator isn't a game that has a plot or really an end goal. If you want to collect every duck available, that's your choice, but it won't give you anything besides a fleeting feeling of joy. Somehow, though, through means I am not aware of, this became a streamer game. Someone would stream, open Plastic Duck Simulator, and create a story using what little gameplay there is to entice the audience. Just like with Gel's Marble Run, they make these objects with no set pattern act as if they are completely aware of their actions. These ducks can float, and occasionally do another action, but just mostly float. They themselves do not decide where they go. If they move towards something, the game decides if they do that or not. They themselves don't. Yet the streamers, and by extension the chat, breathe life into these creatures. And sometimes this creature is chat itself. In the case of Dug Dug. Dug is a YouTuber, but primarily a streamer, that creates content using his chat as the tools for his antics. It functions almost like an extension of Twitch Plays Pokemon, but not quite. The chat is in control of what happens, either making the games themselves or being what causes life to flourish. For example, here's 2 different videos uploaded months apart, each involving the same game. Blindfolded Mario Maker, but Twitch chat screens the directions, has Doug directly in control of the game. But anytime Twitch chat writes a comment, that comment is echoed through the halls of Doug's mind, and by extension, those watching. They can tell Doug what to do, but they are not truly free. They are still held within the shackles of the streamer. Can I beat Mario before Twitch chat beats one level, however, cuts out the middleman. The chat works separately from Doug. If he was out of the picture, they would still be able to play. In making these videos, Doug severs the connection, making the chat exist as a separate being, a uniform hive mind working in tandem to achieve perfection in the eyes of Doug. He speaks to this chat as if it's alive, as if it's not a collection of people watching his content, as if they are a friend, as if they, together, are Twitch chat. But how does this translate to Horse? Horse Race Test is a story with no outline. There is no attempt to make a story, there is no story. Yet to everyone watching, there is. These horses are alive, and there is something deeper hidden under the surface. You just have to dig. As of writing, 7 out of 9 horses currently have a name. You're already well acquainted with the Orange Horse, Jovial Merriman, but there's also Resolute Mind Afternoon, Bulletin Board, Downtown Skybox, Superstitional Realism, and Cyan. We will come back to Cyan.
I forgot doorknob. Whoops.
In order for a horse to be named, they have to acquire their name through winning a race. Some have fought harder than others, but those without a name have not earned their title yet. Pink and Yellow are nameless as of now. Pink hasn't been strong enough to win, and seemingly Yellow's only goal is to help Jovial make it to the end, not for their own glory. Jovial is fundamentally the Yujiro Hanma of Horse Race Test. The strongest creature on the track. Bar none, they are the strongest horse, with the most powerful track record of them all. They are strong to such a degree, those who want Jovial dead accuse him of taking steroids. To them, his achievements are not his own. These people are liars and swindlers and only say this to attempt to boost their favorite to the winning slot. A fruitless endeavor that only reveals their true colors. Bulletin Board, Downtown Skybox, and Doorknob have not been able to win a race in quite a while. Their lust for combat trumps their need for beta-carotene. Resolute Mind Afternoon is the only horse dead set on killing and taking Jovial's place. Countless times they have gone as close, if not closer than Jovial to the carrots, yet their anger continues to be their downfall. They overshoot the goal, watching as Jovial wins yet another cup. Cyan, although earning their name, does not get a unique title, for it was a pity prize. Over the course of 5 days, White and Cyan were placed into a labyrinth, one with a very simple design, but one created as a method of torture. They would continue to bounce off of the walls and themselves, always getting close, yet the exit was just out of reach. They would make it far only to be pushed back into another chamber, stuck together for all eternity. Until, eventually, one did make it to the goal, but that one wasn't Cyan. Although he tried, and got exceptionally close. Superstitional realism would be the one to earn their name. On April 20th, in a dungeon of his own, Cyan would finally get a carrot. But this wasn't a challenge. There were no competitors. Cyan was stuck in a small room. No walls, no obstacles, nothing. A single entrance with no exit. The pity carrots don't taste as good as the normal ones. Over the course of the next 5 days, the final parts of horse race tests would be released, officially marking the end of the series. And as soon as part 1 was revealed, things took a much different turn. 7 equine with the same color, cyan, 1 being the outlier, white. This is the labyrinth again. The only one with the same exact color as cyan stays in the starting area for most of the race. And the one to win? The only white horse. A mysterious figure. A name similar to superstitional realism, but not quite. It's vague. It's how Cyan thinks of white. He was left behind while white joined the real race. The mysterious figure uses one of the creatures as a stepping stool to proceed. It's no coincidence the map shares the same gradient as the Cyan Hell Room. This is not a real race. It's just what Cyan is dreaming of. Next day, another race. This time, the map appears to be back to normal. Except... holy shit. It's the fucking labyrinth again. White and Cyan are nowhere to be seen. What is going on? We're back to the nightmare. The winner from last time, the mysterious figure, is nowhere to be seen. Only the horrors remain. When one of the experiments reach the end, their name is revealed, just like before. Garbage bin. Next race, same track. Garbage bin is gone, down to only 5 homunculi. The winner this time around is 003, Nighttime Knifemare. Funnily enough, the only creature to not have a coat similar to Cyan. Even in hell, Cyan cannot win. The video is not over. New map. Only superstitional realism and a mysterious figure remain. Before we can see the results of the race, the video ends. We're back in the maze. Except, Jovial Merriment is gone. The carrot has been replaced with an apple. Something strange is happening. The race plays out as normal, with the reveal of another horse's name, this time being pink. We learn their name is Comely Material Morning. Back to the previous race, Realism and the mysterious figure are still fighting. 16 seconds later, Realism makes it to the carrots. Through a Windows Movie Maker transition, we view the start of another race. We don't get to see the results screen. They don't matter anymore. This is no longer a race. This is a war to save someone. Superstitional Realism and Jovial Merriment versus a mysterious figure, Garbage Bin, and Nighttime Knifemare. The winners of the homunculi race are taken for their containment to face against the champion of life. These shapes are not fake creatures made of Cyan's mind. They are real. But where is Cyan? Welcome to the final race. Over the course of the next 4 videos, Jovial Merriment and Superstitional Realism fight for the right to save their friend. But, in the end, a god can still bleed. At the beginning of this video, I referenced a psychological experiment to get you interested. That experiment is referred to as Kiki and Booba. The participant is shown 2 different abstract shapes, one more spiky, the other soft and round, and is told to name one Kiki and the other Booba. In most cases, The sharp one is labeled Kiki, and the rounder one is labeled Booba. Our mind puts two and two together as a way to humanize what we see, to understand the world around us. And yet, these are but abstract shapes. They don't have a purpose. They're not characters. But because they're not characters, means they do hold a character. It just hasn't been found yet. Everything I've been saying is a lie. These horses do not have goals, do not have ideals. Everything I'm saying is my own thoughts, composed through a string of bouncing horses. The mind has created a farce identity. The equine does not breathe, yet the subconscious believes it's so. They are not alive. They are but faceless orbs of substances unknown. But a featureless clay mass in the hands of a god is still capable of intelligence. It just has to be molded by the hands that feed. The French critic and theorist Roland Barthes once wrote an essay titled The Death of the Author. The work stands to reason that the meaning of a text is not determined by the author's intention, but rather uncovered through the interpretation of its reader. People like to take things that usually have no purpose or goal and use it as a branching off point to create their own story. The characters that spawned from this fictional reality are not the same characters found in the original work. They are instead created by the ideas of the community. Jovial Merriman is not a god. He is a line of code designed to bounce off walls. Yet because he keeps winning, the audience believes him to think. Cogito ergo sum. Jovial thinks, therefore he is. The audience thinks Jovial is alive, therefore he is alive. The fan art people have created will make you believe this series has a purpose, and that is its goal. The art wants you to get interested, to become another member of its collective mind. The average viewer will watch these short experiments and think of them as nothing but a fun yet short distraction. However, if someone else implants the idea that there is something more going on, they will start to believe the same. Horse Race Test does not have a plot, unless you believe it to. There is nothing here, yet because there is nothing, means we can make something using the formula laid before us. Our mind fills in the gaps where there is no story, in turn creating a story out of nothing. The people will continue to think and imagine, as long as there is something to dream of. I am an equine god, the keeper of hay, the lord of horse.
I'd like to meet you.
But I'm only a pony.
That's totally fine. Especially since you're so mature for a pony, smiley face.
I'm turning into mommy!